Hello, in this video I'm going to show you around this Engwe E26 all-terrain bike. Let's get on with it. As always, the bike comes supplied in a really big box. Now there was a little damage to the box this time, but once opened there was no detrimental effect there, and this is obviously due to the amount of packaging used to protect the bike during transportation. Here's the bike in its component form. I'm just checking I've got everything I need prior to the build, and we can do that by using the tools provided by Engwe for the job. First thing that I'm going to do is fit the handlebars, and this will allow me to turn the bike over as I find it more comfortable to build the bike upside down. We're going to fit the pedals, we're going to remove this transportation bolt from the forks and fit the front wheel. Then we can put the bike back on its wheels, and we can continue by fitting the stand. We'll then fit the bike rack at the back of the bike, and we'll continue by fitting the light itself to the bike rack. Once we've done that, we can move to the front end and fit the front mudguard, and we can fit the front headlight. Once we've done that, we can fit the bell, and we're nearly ready to go. All we need to do is get the bike on charge. Right, so being an all-terrain bike, we're obviously going to try and show it on as much variation as possible. So I've got sections where I'm going to be on old dirt tracks like this one, which was a former railway line. I'm going to do a bit of road riding as well, and loose gravel and stuff like that, and we'll see how we go. First impressions for me are the bike is very, very comfortable. Obviously this is now the fourth Engwe bike that I've had, and it's also the biggest by far. It's a huge bike. I'll put the dimensions on the screen now, but that sort of makes it less jittery, I guess. I do love the Engine X that I'm using all the time, but this one's certainly a lot better to ride for someone my size as well. Obviously I'm 6'4", and this bike is built for people you know, taller than me and also heavier than me. I think it takes up to 150 kilos, this bike. The bike is as it is out of the box, still in kilometers an hour. I haven't even messed with any of the settings. As I always say, you can get instructions from Engwe themselves or even on YouTube on how to de-restrict these bikes. I have watched videos and they will go 30 plus miles an hour on the throttle should you want that. Obviously I do not review bikes that are not UK legal. Engwe have offered me a lot of bikes and I've turned a lot down because I will only do UK legal ones. So this one comes restricted to 250 watts and 4 miles an hour on the throttle for walk assist. As I say, I haven't even been in the settings to change it to miles an hour, so the speeds you're seeing on the screen are kilometers an hour. It's got a lovely display screen in colour on this one as well, which is very nice. And yeah, it's just an all-round real nice quality bike. Not that the others aren't that I've tried, but you can tell that this one is slightly, you know, more upmarket. It's got full hydraulic brakes and 180mm discs on it, and like I say, it rides lovely. I'm really enjoying it. We've obviously got very large wheels for this bike. This is 26-inch wheels with a 4-inch fat tyre, so copes brilliantly on slippy surfaces as we are at the moment. I'll be interested to see what we go like when we're on the main roads. As I say, it is marketed as an all-terrain bike. I guess it's going to be limited in certain ways, but for what I'm using it for, perfectly great. It'd be a great bike for to-ing and fro-ing to work. I think the issue you'd have is the size of it physically storing it somewhere. I think the bike weighs in at something like 33 kilos. When I actually stop and run through the bike for you a bit later on in the video, I'll give you exact figures. Bike has got the standard Shimano 7-speed with 5 power levels, and like I say, restricted to power assist up to 25 kilometers an hour, 15.5 miles an hour on this bike. Now they advertise something like 80 miles range. Now we've always said with these bikes, optimum range is all very well with the right size rider using it on different power levels on a nice warm day. It's a freezing cold day today. I will do a bit of pedaling on the road with no power assist on, just to see how the bike copes and how heavy it is, because when you've got the power assist on, I think it gives you a false impression on how much the bike actually weighs when you're riding it. It's very, very stable, but the length of it is obviously helping there, and the size of the wheels. But yeah, with the power on, this is quite a good hill. No issues, and obviously I'm riding one-handed because I'm holding the camera. Right, so we're on to more of a crushed stone track now, I guess. Come out of the woods and you know, the leafy area, and again, bike's performing brilliantly. Yeah, really enjoying this. Let's just take a moment to show you around the bike itself. Now obviously we're part way through the ride. This is a real world experience and we are quite muddy, but the bike is the step through version. They do one with a crossbar, and it's in a various amount of colours. So on the screen now I'll be showing you the variants of it, complete with crossbar and not. I chose the one with no crossbar purely because I thought it looked nicer, and obviously it's easier to get on and off. Now, as we said, front disc brakes hydraulic 180mm, same with the rears. Got a nice parcel rack on the back, good for 25 kilos. Sturdy kickstand, proper pedals on this one. We've already tried the bell, nice size bell, and yeah, good levers for the hydraulic brakes. The light on the front is it's a huge motorbike style light. It's got a light in the middle plus a ring around the outside of LEDs. You've got your standard preloadable forks that are lockable and unlockable. There is no rear suspension. It is a hardtail bike, but it has got a suspension seat post and a very, very comfortable seat, so that makes the world of difference. And we've got the normal rear light that is also a brake light. You've got your 7-speed derailleur there from Tawny, and there is the hub motor that is restricted to 250 watts. You've got your CE certificate on the bike frame there saying that this is UK compliant. The black section there is the battery that is actually in frame. I'll show you that coming out later. Through that key there, you just put a key in there to take the battery out. You can charge the battery on the bike or off the bike. Obviously you've got the facility for a drinks bottle there. But yeah, it's a nice looking bike. It's really, really comfortable. There is obviously a lot of rake adjustment you can do on the handlebars. You've got your standard palm grips as normal. Lovely colour display that lets you alter all the parameters. Plus and minus on there for your speed selection, well, power selection I should say, along with this there is for your lights, and that is to get into the menu itself. Normal gear shifters up and down. So the bike in this form, the step through one, is 33.5 kilos as it stands now. and the one with the high step is just a kilo heavier. So if you've got the crossbar on, it's just a kilo heavier at 34.5. Top speed, as we've said, 25 kilometers an hour for the UK. Mileage, they're saying 140 kilometers, just over 80 miles. I think, you know, we've said this on the ride, you can depend on the weather, the size of you, how much power you use. We'll see how we get on with 25 odd miles by the time I get to work. Yeah, the battery is a 48 volt 16 amp hour removable lithium ion 1 battery, and they are 26x4 tyres. The motor has got 70 Newton meters of torque, and the frame is a 6061 aluminium alloy frame. Charging time from empty, around 5.5 to 6 hours for the battery, and that's about right. Most of these I've done before, I've charged them and timed it, and they're pretty on with that. So you could easily take this to work, do 30-40 miles to work. I guess if you were crazy enough to do that, who's going to do that? And then charge the battery at work, should you wish. But for most people, they'd charge it once in a while, go out for a 20-mile ride and so on, wouldn't they, really? So there you go. Let's get on with the ride, get on some tarmac and see what she performs like there. So you might notice I've now added a high-vis vest because we're just coming up to the road part. Safety first and all that. Okay, so for this part of the ride, we're now starting on the road. I've got quite a big downhill section to come. Now obviously doing a speed test on this is pretty pointless to a point because the motor turns itself off at 25 kilometers an hour. But just for fun, down this hill, I'm in gear 7, power on 5. We'll see what we can do. The wind is against me, making my eyes stream along here. Bike's very stable at speed though. Don't forget, one-handed. I've got a bit of built-up road now for a while. Not too busy, but I'm going to concentrate and put the other camera away. So I'll pick you up when we get to more laney areas and we'll see how we're going. Just showing you we've got a constant climb. And it's fine. Obviously I did say I've got it on high power level. Not gonna lie, it's good. Fair bit of tyre noise on the road, but that's to be expected. So while I'm on a flat level part, I thought I'd take the power assist off and test what it's like as just a pedal cycle. I'm in the easiest gear going, and all right, the wind is against me, but you can really tell the weight of this bike when you're not using the assist at all. Yeah, I've got a bit of a hill now and my legs are burning from using the bike with no battery. I'm quite surprised that the battery meter did not go back up. Usually my experience with these bikes is if you're using them under load, they'll drop a bar or two, but then once you rest them, they go back up. This one hasn't done that. So I've lost 2 bars already. Very, very worrying that. I'm not going to lie, it's hard going when you just use the bike as a push bike or on power 1 and 2. The reason why I'm being very, very cautious with the battery, when I get a bit closer to work, there are a few sections that I'd like to have the power to get away from junctions and stuff. So it's good, the weather's nice, it's a bit windy and I am riding into the wind, but I'm going to always give you a real world test. And yeah, in the conditions I'm using this bike at the minute, battery range is not good. It's nice to get a bit of downhill. Battery is holding up well. I think what's happened is it's basically stuck on 2 now. Don't seem to have lost any more, which is making me feel a bit better. Might have been my early over exuberance when I was in the woods and stuff on power level 5 that didn't help. But yeah, it's certainly not going to do the range they're stating, which none of them ever do. But we have done 19 kilometres now, and we're still on 2 on the battery. So I wish I'd changed it to miles, to be honest. I will do the conversion at the end, but yeah, I think possibly I'm over halfway to work now on the road. I hope so anyway. I'm out of the wind now, flat level gradient, and it's absolutely a joy to ride with no assist. It says it's on 2, don't get me wrong. It's not providing any assistance on 2 because I'm going over the speed where it allows that to happen. But I've just been leaving it on 2, and then if I pedal really slow, like if I hit a hill, it gives me a bit of help. So when they give you an optimum range, that's doing stuff like this, where you're basically using it as a pedal cycle standalone, and it's only assisting you. But of course, at the beginning of the video, I was just like Jeremy Clarkson, Power 5, and gunning it everywhere, which is probably not the fairest way to review a bike. Hello. Yeah. Look, real bicyclists. They've got Lycra on and everything. Someone said in one of the comments, when I put on the Facebook page, I was doing a bike review, please God, we don't mind you doing the reviews, but never wear Lycra. Don't worry, that will never happen. Right, I've now got the power back on because this is a fairly busy road for me till I get to another lane. Just feel I need the power to pull away, especially at these lights, because they're quite a fast change and I don't want to get stuck on the bridge. See, lights are already on red. This is the problem. Luckily the cars the other side should see me. Right, so we're now back on a little minor lane. It's pretty much like this all the way to work now, bar the last half mile. In a minute I'm going to pull up and take a break, get a snack and a drink, and ring Heather and tell her to set out to pick me up from work. Should take her about half an hour, so should give me plenty of time to get there and get the bike packed away. Stop for a breather. I've just rang Heather. She's now going to leave home and meet me at work. I'm about half an hour away from work. Slight issue I've got now is it's just started raining as well, and if you can see over there, we have got some serious cloudage coming up, so I'm going to get wet, but it is what it is. I'm not sure the camera will pick it up, but with a little bit of rain, at least we've got a rainbow. I'm not allowed to point at it. Heather says it's bad luck to point at a rainbow, but it's just over there. Anyway, I've taken the camera off my bike helmet because that one isn't really waterproof, but let's boot this thing back up and we'll see how we go. See, I think it's having a dicky fit. Look, it's had a rest and it's now saying it's got 5 bars when I'd got it down to 2. There could be a calibration issue here. Who knows? But what I'm going to do, I'll put it on power 5 now and see how I go riding the majority of the distance back to work. Oh, it's raining now. Wind and rain straight into my face. Battery update. I'm on power 5 and obviously just riding under the threshold where the assist is still working with me. So I'm going 24 kilometers an hour, so it's actually doing all the work. It's gone down to 4 bars. So we might be lucky here. We might get to have a lazy ride all the way back to work. That would be nice. It's one of them days, sunny as anything, but raining on me. April showers in December. 4 bars, power 5, just on the threshold of it working. I deserve this lazy last part of the ride. I'm not going to lie, it was bloody hard work coming along them lanes. Whew. I wish I'd turned it off earlier though, to see if it was just a glitch, because this is kind of what I was expecting. I sort of thought I'd be round to 3 or 4 bars, just by the experience of riding this bike compared to the Engine X. When I come to work on the Engine X, this is the way I come, so I pretty much know what the battery situation is going to be. And when I get to work, I'm usually on 2 bars, but that's pretty much using all the power all the time. And this is a bigger battery. So I think we just had a software glitch somewhere, and it was giving a false reading, because this is more like it. Happy days. There's one thing I will say, I'm having some fun. This is great. Got the bike down to 2 bars again though, with all the fannying around I'm doing. But not far now. Right, so I'm just coming up to where I work now. It's down to 1 bar, but I have had it on power 5 for the last part of the journey. Bike's filthy, I'm filthy, but I really enjoyed that. "32 kilometers is that? Yeah. Right then, that's me back at work. Hope you've enjoyed this video and it's given you some insight into whether you'd like one of these Engwe E26s. As always, I just say as I see it. I've enjoyed the bike. Slightly worried about the claims on the mileage, but obviously weather has been against me, and obviously it's cold. I've been messing around. Probably bike would do a lot better than it has done, but I've made it without worrying. Could have probably used the power a bit more as it goes, but I'm happy enough about it. If you stick around for a little bit longer, when I get the bike into work, I'll show you the lights in the dark and removing the battery as I said I would. If you're interested in buying one of these bikes, all the links will be below in the comments section, including my affiliate link, where if you use that, I get a few pence for you buying one. You don't have to, but it'd be nice. And I will hopefully catch you on another bike video sometime in 2025. Okay, so I just want to show you how easy it is to remove the battery. You just put the key in there, turn the key like that, and the battery is out of the frame. You can see there's the frame, there's the connections, battery itself. Just drop it back in, remove the key, and it clicks back into place. That's the light. I've turned all the lights off at work. See, from a driver's point of view, it's pretty good.